Imagine devoting your entire life to perfecting just one thing, and even earning from it. This is the extraordinary story of a man known as Iron Head, a 60-year-old whose skull was tougher than steel. From childhood, Iron Head and his siblings were subjected to intense and dangerous kung fu training by their master. Even as a young boy, Iron Head could smash bricks with his forehead without feeling a hint of pain. His brother, nicknamed Iron Crotch due to his unique training, had hardened his most sensitive body parts with repeated beatings from metal rods until they were nearly invincible. Their sister, Roar, had a scream so powerful it could rupture eardrums, and in extreme cases even stop hearts. Her daily training involved shattering glass with her voice, and she would destroy at least 5 glasses every day just to strengthen her vocal cords. In their youth, the siblings were widely praised for their incredible talents. But as they aged, people lost interest in them. Despite their physical prowess, they spent most of their lives unemployed. Iron Head, in particular, had racked up enormous debts, proving that while his skull could endure steel blows, it couldn't withstand the weight of financial pressure. One day, loan sharks barged into his home and confiscated all his belongings. Their leader mocked Iron Head by returning his old martial arts certificates and calling his entire life meaningless. Humiliated and desperate to change his fate, Iron Head decided to find a job at the age of 60. While walking down the street, he noticed a group of young men splitting a large sum of money. Intrigued, he followed them to a shady hideout, hoping to join their ranks. When the gang leader learned that a 60-year-old man wanted to join their extortion racket, he burst into laughter. Iron Head begged for a chance to prove himself, but they mocked him and kicked him out. That night, Iron Head's daughter visited him. A proud man, he refused to accept money from her. Still determined to join the gang, he threw himself in front of their car the next day. Afraid of police trouble, they took him to their den. Impressed by his resilience, the gang leader reluctantly agreed to give him a chance, but with a challenge. Iron Head had to collect money from a notoriously stubborn businessman. He found the man dining in a restaurant and politely requested repayment. When ignored, Iron Head spat in his food. Enraged, the businessman smashed a glass bottle over his head. Unfazed, Iron Head began breaking multiple bottles on his own head to prove his toughness. The sight shocked the onlookers, who began berating the businessman. Feeling humiliated, the man handed Iron Head his credit card to make him go away. The gang, impressed by Iron Head's daring, gave him a 30% commission and accepted him into their fold. However, not everyone was pleased. The gang leader's right-hand man grew envious and tried to turn the boss against Iron Head, but failed. Iron Head soon became the gang's most successful debt collector. Within a month, he earned enough to fill his home with new furniture. But he hid his new life from his brother Iron Crotch, sister Roar, and their master, knowing they would never approve of his thug lifestyle. On one assignment, Iron Head collected money from a debtor named Bon. Under pressure, Bon surrendered all he had, only 30,000 yuan. But the gang demanded 300,000. Humiliated for coming up short, Iron Head promised to get the remaining amount in 3 days. On his way home, Iron Head was ambushed by jealous gang members, who also tore up important loan documents. Now, recovering the debt would be even more difficult. That night, a man arrived at Iron Head's home to repay his loan. Overjoyed, Iron Head accepted the money. But just then, his daughter arrived with her police officer husband. Mistaking the visitor for a violent debt collector, they gave him the money and sent him away, leaving Iron Head empty-handed again. Later, Iron Head's son-in-law investigated a house burglary case. The culprit was none other than the son of the woman Iron Head had earlier extorted. The boy had stolen money to pay off his mother's medical bills. Iron Head, ashamed, apologized to the family and vowed to change. Moved by their plight, the police gave them financial help and left. But the guilt continued to haunt Iron Head. Determined to recover the remaining debt from Bon, Iron Head confronted him again. A crowd gathered, and they began to curse Bon, demanding he return the money. Seeing no escape, Bon began smashing his own head against the wall, mimicking Iron Head's antics. Blood flowed from his forehead. Ironhead, seeing this, wiped the man's blood and quietly walked away, ashamed of what he had become. Meanwhile, the envious right-hand man spied on him and continued to sow doubt in the gang leader's mind. Still, the gang leader gave Ironhead 3 more days to prove himself. That evening, Ironhead's master and siblings discovered his source of wealth. Furious, they confronted him and learned he was working for a gang that lent money at high interest to the poor and then used force to recover it. Ironhead was devastated. He laid all his earnings on the table and swore never to use his skills for wrongdoing again. But the lure of money was too strong. When they realized how much money Ironhead had made, even the master, Iron Crotch, and Roar joined him. After all, they'd built iron bodies their whole lives. It was time to build iron bank accounts too. Their debt collection methods evolved. The master would threaten to smash Iron Crotch's jewels with a hammer. Terrified debtors would immediately repay. They earned thousands of yuan in just an hour. One stubborn debtor refused to pay, claiming he had no money. They pressured him to sell his house. When he still didn't budge, Roar began chanting, "Pay your debts," outside his home, non-stop for 2 days. Exhausted and humiliated, the man eventually sold his home and cleared his dues. Flush with cash, the team returned to the gang's headquarters. The gang leader welcomed Ironhead as his most trusted man. Over the next month, the team collected even more money, living in luxury. They even began training others in their methods. But then the gang leader introduced a new plan, targeting college students with loans. Ironhead was immediately disturbed by this. He didn't want to exploit innocent youths, but remained silent out of fear. The next day, they visited a college girl to collect a debt. Watching her terrified as Iron Crotch smashed iron balls with a hammer made Ironhead uncomfortable. When he saw the gang trying to coerce the girl into sleeping with someone to waive the loan, he was furious. To clear his head, Ironhead took his family on a beach vacation. There, they saw the same girl and her mother, now homeless. The girl blamed Ironhead for their misery. As tempers flared, Ironhead's grandson, enraged, flung a glass bottle at her, but Ironhead jumped in front of it. For the first time in his life, Ironhead bled from his forehead. That moment changed everything. He realized how far he had fallen. He returned to the gang and quit. Though the leader didn't protest, Ironhead later discovered that his grandson had been kidnapped by the gang. Fueled by rage, he sent money to the homeless woman for a new house and prepared for battle. With his team, he stormed the gang's hideout, guns drawn. The gang surrendered, until a mistake triggered a gunshot, revealing their weapons were fake. The gang retaliated and held them hostage, trying to humiliate them by forcing them to make an obscene video. Ironhead refused. A gangster aimed a gun at his head, but before he could shoot, the police raided the place. They had been tipped off and arrested the entire gang, rescuing the girls as well. Ironhead returned to live with his daughter, vowing never to misuse his strength again. Along with his siblings and master, he pledged to only use their powers for good. Moral of the story: strength without purpose is hollow. If you could turn into an Ironhead, what would you use that power for? Let us know in the comments.